does it do you too? Welcome back to another episode of Scotty Says. I am your host and welcome to episode 103, my folks. And oh, what an episode this will be. What a glorious episode this will be, because the Rams finally took care of business, handled them damn Niners at the Palace, and Coach McGenius finally gets a measure of revenge against his dada, and all of them damn Niner fans that came and took over the Palace in Inglewood, they can all get the hell out of here with that big L on their heads. Get on now. And the Rams find a way to salvage their season. I mean, they were staring down the barrel of 0-3, and they managed to pull out a victory that is season salvaging. And so we've got a lot to get to this episode, my folks, and I hope that you saw the previous episode 102, because I think, set it up for you. In that episode, we went in depth about the book of McWonder. We talked at length about the 25-30 principle. I sung the original lyrics to Shanahan's Coming to Town. He knows just how to beat you. He knows your weaknesses. He knows because he wrote the book. He knows past happy years. Your father Shanahan's coming to town. Remember? And so I did. Last episode, I outlined a dire set of predictions. I issued stark warning for Coach McGenius. And I said, if you continue doing what you've been doing, you're gonna keep getting what you've been getting, McWonder. If you keep practicing bird brain behavior, then you're going to keep wearing L's, and your dada, Father Shanahan, and them damn Niners will keep sunning you. And I sent him a recipe, a formula many years ago, and I've reiterated it in the form of the 25-30 principle. And I told you, and I told him, if you apply the principle, if you follow the simple metrics, you will win. You will beat your dada. I promised him. I guaranteed it to him. I assured him. But I didn't believe he would do it. Whether it was in his capacity to do it, whether he felt obliged, I didn't think he could commit to the simple metrics of the 25-30 principle. And so I issued a warning for McWonder. And I told him he's staring down the barrel of a lost season already at 0-3 if your dada comes to town and does what he does. And I have to say, my folks, I don't know how he did it. I don't know if, in fact, Coach McWonder or perhaps one of his acolytes subscribe to Scotty Says. That could be. If so, you're welcome, Coach. I don't know if perhaps it's someone else in the orbit of the team, perhaps someone who has enough cachet, close enough that they could affect the outcome of the game. Perhaps it's a star player who is subscribing to Scotty Says. Could it be? Well, we'll get to it. Or maybe Coach McWonder just stumbled into it, just blundered into it. Maybe it was completely by accident, but I don't think that's the case. No, I'm almost certain, my folks, there was an intervention. An intervention that saved McWonder. They took him. The formula from Scotty Says, they presented him with the 25-30 principle, and when he eschewed it, they intervened. I'm going to explain what I'm talking about. Bear with me. But because this is such a big episode, because we've got so much to cover, I'm going to give you this episode a little bit out of order from how I would normally give it to you. Let me get a dab. Ooh, I am worked up, my folks, already. I'm going to give it to you out of order. Normally, I would start off with an intro and then segue to game analysis and then follow that up with the numbers and a look around the league. But today, I'm going to start. After a brief intro, I'm going to start with the numbers because that's where it lies. That's where the key is. And then I'll give you a brief game analysis because there are some issues that must be pointed out in the game plan. And so, I'm going to do it because, honestly, my folks, already now, you see the halo effect is well at work. We've talked about this on numerous occasions. It's like a deity scenario. All of the credit, none of the blame. That's how it works with our favorite head coach around these parts, Coach McWonder. He gets all of the credit when the team does well. And when the team does poorly, he gets absolutely none of the blame. And so that is a golden position to occupy, wouldn't you say? And so already now, it has started because at 0-2, all you heard around these parts was, it's all the injuries, you understand. That's why they're 0-2. It's all the injuries. And I've heard similar excuses in the past. That 5-12 Super Bowl defense season, putrid. Well, they kept saying he had nothing, no one to work with. That was why. And then we started off here now, and, the injuries, of course. But after that scintillating, thrilling, after that sensational victory, epic comeback, defeat of them damn Niners, why now all you hear is, what a genius Coach McWonder is. He's brilliant. Did you see what he did? Did you see how he did it? He's magnificent. And injuries have nothing to do with anything. Injuries on either side, on either part, it doesn't matter because the man is a genius. Hence the nickname, Coach McGenius. But I, as you now know, my folks, I refuse to get on the conveyor belt. I refuse to walk in lockstep in the cult of McWonder. I won't do it. And so I made you a promise many, many episodes ago. I'm going to give you the real. And when McGenius is praiseworthy, I'm going to heap praise upon him. And when he practices bird brain behavior, when he's sick-witted, his condition of past happiness, when he's wildly out of balance, I'm going to call him out on it. And it's very often the case, it's only from this space. Only I will do it. No one else. And so you can rely on coming here for the real, my folks. And so, we've got a bit of a mixed bag. Now, I have to start by saying this is a zero-sum business, right? Dubs and L's and dubs. That's the bottom line. Did you win or did you lose? And so when you win, when you get that dub, Well, everything is a lot more palatable. The mistakes, the errors, McBlunders, so be it. We can live with it because we won. That's just the nature of the business, okay? And so I'm not going to be too hard on McWonder this week. He got the dub. In fact, I'm going to bestow praise upon him for a very significant reason. What have I been calling for? What have I been chiding him for? What have I been agitating for? For him to be balanced. For him to play smart, hard-nosed football when the time calls for it. For him to use the recipe I sent him, the 25-30 principle, and beat his dada. That's what I've been calling for. For him to grow and evolve. I remember I once called him a McG-Rex because he seemed unwilling to evolve. And that's what we talked about quite a bit last episode. But something very interesting happened on the way to another L for Mr. McWonder. Father Shanahan kind of went a little McWonder himself. And it seemed to me, watching the game, that the football god smiled on Coach McG. And he got the bounces that he needed. And, well, there was a tarting. It's an adjective now to tart. He tarted. Tartified. He dropped a sure game-winning pass. That pass of completion kills the Rams right there with a minute and 7 or 8 seconds left in regulation. It cinches it, but he couldn't hold on. So the football gods, and maybe it was a little bit of stumbling into it, sure, but, due to the injuries, but you've got to give McWonder credit. He was willing to innovate, to employ ingenuity to change. Now, I have to say here, he's been so stuck on 11 personnel. That's his thing. And and so right away, he went to 12 personnel, and that is an innovation, a wrinkle. That's something different, and that right off the bat, it switched things up a little bit on Father. That was a good idea. I still felt there were times where he threw too much. He's passing too much out of 12 personnel. But as I say, there was an intervention that led to balance. And we'll get to it, my folks, in the game analysis. But at this point in time, I have to say, give the Rams credit. They could have rolled over because I saw how the Arizona Cardinals just pummeled them. And San Francisco jumped on them early, and all them damn Niner fans have taken over SoFi. And, well, yeah, you could see how if they're not careful, they're about to get blown out here. And in that scenario, to come back and win that game like that, the biggest Rams comeback since 2012, that's well before the McWonder era. So, kudos. Congratulations are in order, because at 1-2, you've got life, man. You're one of the myriad of teams in the NFL that are either 2-1 or 1-2. There's only a handful of unbeatens and winless, very small number, 5 or so. But in the middle, all the teams are 1-2 or 2-1, and so 1-2, you're now tied for second in the division. You're ahead of them damn Niners because you just whooped them. And you still have your fate, your destiny in your own hands. You still got 2 with Seattle. You can get revenge on the Cardinals. And next up, the Bears. And they're ripe for the picking, but you can't ease off the gas pedal. You can't exhale because you got past them damn Niners. If you do, well, the Bears can bite you. Rawr. So you've got to stay focused on it, because there would be nothing nicer than to get to 2-2, and you'd have the pack before you bye, and you are right in the middle of it. So let's talk about that intervention that I spoke of. What am I referring to? Well, as I mentioned, McWonder, despite being in 12 personnel, of course, we know that's 1 running back, 2 tight ends, and 2 wide receivers. And so, despite being primarily in 12 personnel for the bulk of the game against them damn Niners, he still, Mr. McWonder wanted to throw. There were sequences where he would throw exclusively, even out of 12 personnel, which is more geared toward a power running offensive game plan. I like that he made the pivot to 12 personnel, but to really complete, to really embrace the move, you've got to use it in the manner it was designed. Run the ball, sir. You should be run heavy in 12 personnel versus what you would be in 11. But he made the initial move. He, Mr. McWonder, knew he had to do something. And I think the injuries forced him into it. Losing Puka, losing Soup, that forced him into it. And knowing that he was up against 0-3, he had to be desperate, because that, as I say, was your season right there. You lose that game. And all of the stress of getting whooped by your dada all those times in a row, 9 in a row up until the end of the season last year. And so he had to have been under an enormous amount of pressure. And I give him credit for innovating, and even though not completely embracing the power run game, he adjusted from his normal ways, because we saw what happened the first game of the season in Detroit against the Put-em-up Lions. 49 dropbacks, 49 pass attempts for Matty from the D in a loss. When the Cardinals the following week, Kyler Murray had 21 pass attempts and they put up 41 points. You see where I'm going with this, my folks? Passing numbers are down in the NFL this year. You've got to adapt, Coach McWonder. And so I'm extremely elated to see that he did make that move to 12 personnel, even if it was maybe a lukewarm move. What I mean by intervention is I saw time and time and time again, over a dozen times, the quarterback, Matthew Stafford, Matty from the D, time and time and time again, I saw him audible out of pass plays and hand the ball to his running back. In fact, the Rams only scored 3 touchdowns on the day. Kyren Williams, his running back, K-Will, toted each of them in. He got one on the little pass play from Matty over the middle where he somersaults into the end zone. That was the first one. And the last 2 touchdowns the Rams got were both handoffs. Matty from the D, audibling out of the play, killing it. Kill. Go back and watch it. Look it up on one of the platforms streaming. Kill. He's killing McWonder's pass play. audibly. And when he does so, you see Tutu telling the DeMarcus Robinson, you need to block here. You see K. Will shifting, adjusting, checking the lineman, looking back, Dotson looking back. Is this what we're doing? Yes, we are killing all them damn McWonder passes, and we are handing the ball off to our running back, and he gouged them every time. That's how, because in the book of McWonder, I explained it last episode, McWonder, in goal-to-go situations, he wants to pass. First and goal, pass. Second and goal, pass. Third and goal, pass. And we examined the book of McWonder extensively last episode. That on third and fourth down, he must pass. He's sick with it. And he tried to do this, my folks, but there was an intervention in the form of the one man in the organization who could stop McWonder, who could put the reins on Coach McG. There's only one man who can do it. Well, short of being removed by the owner, but how else can you stop him when he makes his mind up? This is what he wants to do. There's only one man who can do it. It's not the Sneedster. It's not Stan Case, thank the owner. There's one man who can stop him. If he can't stop himself, and that man is a quarterback. Matthew Stafford, Matty from the D, and we saw it, my folks, we saw it time and time again, over a dozen times. Matty from the D, kill. We're not passing McWonder, we're handing the ball to the running back. And all of those audibles to runs, all of those interventions by the only man in the organization who could stop him, all of that led to balance. It led to balance, my folks. And you know what balance leads to? Dubs! And so let's just go right ahead and look at the numbers, as I said. Let's get right to them. Because I told Coach McWonder many episodes ago, I promised him, I assured him, I guaranteed him, if you only follow the 25-30 principle, if you only do that and you are balanced, sir, you will win. You will defeat your dada. And so I am so very pleased to announce he did it. The man did it. Coach McGenius followed the principle, courtesy of Scotty Says. I'm gonna put my Cash App in the description, and Coach, or perhaps maybe it's a star player, whoever it is, I think it's appropriate to send a word of thanks, and you don't have to do it publicly. You can just shoot it through the Cash App. Cash is always welcome. And I feel somewhat now, I will admit, somewhat, my folks, I do feel a little bit reminiscent of something I heard Little Richard say once. He said, they never give me my credit. This is what Little Richard said. He said, they never give me my credit. They never gave me one hard-boiled egg. And that's how I feel. You didn't give me one hard-boiled egg. You never give me my credit. So I'll pat myself on the back, because I told you last week the 25-30 principle is essentially undefeated. It's in the 95+ percentile for accuracy. It's not a magic or a myth. It is science. It's math. And so I told McWonder, just apply it as I have given it to you, and you'll win. Let's look at the numbers, shall we? Let's look at the numbers, my folks. Now, let's start with the Rams, the victorious team, the LA Rams. Matty Stafford. Matty from the D was 16 for 25. Stop the presses, skirt. Hold it. What? 16 for 25. 221 yards, 1 touchdown, no interceptions, and all of those audibles, those divine audibles, those divine interventions. Thank you, Matthew Stafford. Thank you for putting the reins on McWonder. Thank you, sir. And so, there was one other pass attempt by Tutu. We're going to talk about Tutu. And Tutu threw what they call the Tutu train, and that was a hell of a play, and it just barely got overturned on review. And so that is a grand total of 26 passes for McWonder and the Rams. 26. What does the 25-30 principle stipulate? What does it mandate? What does it require? A cap, a ceiling of 30 or less. 30 or less. No more than 30 pass attempts. Mr. McWonder, 26 official pass attempts. He did it. Wait. There's the other part of it. There are 2 metrics. You got to hit them both. The 25-30 principle stipulates you must have a minimum of 25 run plays. 25 design runs is your minimum. What did the Rams have? Kyron Williams, 24 carries for 89 yards, a 3.7 yard per carry average, 2 touchdowns. And then Ronnie Rivers also had a couple totes, 9 yards. And so that is a grand total, my folks. That's a grand total of 26 design run plays. 26. The 25-30 principle says there must be a minimum of 25 run plays. Mr. McWonder had 26. Check. You must have a maximum of 30 pass attempts. He had 26. Check. Check and check. But wait, there's more. There's more. Not only did he meet both the metrics for the 25-30 principle. Yes, that in and of itself is cause for celebration, but there's more. He had 26 pass attempts, 26 run plays. That is balance. Balance! You can't get any more balance than 26 and 26. Be still my beating heart. That's what I'm talking about, and I told you, Coach. I assured you. I guaranteed you. I promised you. If you do that, you will win. And what did you do? You followed it to perfection. Now, you stumbled and bumbled along the way, but in the end, look at the outcome. And again, with a massive assist, divine intervention from the quarterback, Matthew Stafford, Matty from the D. Watch your girl, Matty, because now Jimmy G is on the scene, okay? That's all I'm saying there. But by hook or by crook, however they did it, they went exactly 26 apiece, run and pass, perfect balance, and they met both the metrics. The 25-30 principle, there was no way they were going to lose that game, even if they threw in several McBlunders, and there were McBlunders aplenty. In fact, I have 3 McBlunder report candidates, each in its own way worthy of being the McBlunder spotlight sequence of the weekend. We'll get to it in game analysis, but for now, this is the important thing. However you came by it, sir, and I believe you or someone close to you must have been made aware of the 25-30 principle. You're welcome. However you came upon it, sir, you followed the principle to perfection. There was no way you were going to lose. And that is why I must give Coach McGenius an honorary game ball. You know, I like to give game balls and victories to the players, the participants on the field. But in this case, for his willingness to adapt, to evolve, to grow, to change, to innovate, for his willingness to run the majority of the game plan through 12 personnel, and for being wise enough to give Matty from the D the option to kill out all those pass plays. For those reasons, I must give Coach McWonder an honorary game ball. You saved your season, dog. You saved your season. Bravo. Bravo. And you're welcome. All right, now, just to finish up on the numbers now, because as you know, I've told you this many times now, Father Shanahan rolls out of bed on the 25-30 principle. Father Shanahan is going to hit the principle. That's just what he does. That's why he whoops McWonder every time. Until this time. Let's look at Father Shanahan's final numbers, shall we? Well, Brock Purdy, 22 passes, 30 attempts. He hit 30 on the nose. He was right there. One more and he would fail. Oh, there is a caveat, but we'll get back to it. 22 out of 30 for 292, 3 touchdowns, no picks. Brock Purdy had a very high caliber game. And all of that talk about him being Mr. Irrelevant and a system guy and manager and all that, okay, whatever you want to call him, Brock Purdy can ball. Okay? So, he had a great game, 22 out of 30, only missed 8 passes, damn near 300 yards, 3 touchdowns, and as I say, no picks. Then, rushing. Well, you know, Father Shanahan is going to run the ball. What did he do? Well, let's see. 19 rushes for Mason. Garindo had 5. That's 24 right there. He's a tick short. Brock Purdy. Brock Purdy had 10 quarterback runs for 41 yards, 4.1 yards per average. Now, so that's interesting because how many of those 10 were designed runs versus scrambling to get out of trouble? I'd say more so the latter, which means Father was actually a little off kilter, wasn't he? Think about it now. Let's be generous and give Purdy 5 of those design runs, 5 of those scrambling to get out of trouble. That means, here's the thing on the pass attempts, and this is something of interest, of note. They don't count sacks as a pass attempt, which I think it is. It's its own separate statistic. And, well, Purdy was sacked 1 time. In my mind, a sack is a failed pass attempt. Failed in one of the worst ways. Just like an interception or an incompletion is a failed pass attempt, so is a sack. You drop back the pass, nobody was open, the pressure got to you, down goes Purdy, grazing on SoFi turf. Well, that's a failed pass attempt. So if you include the sack, that's 31 pass attempts. That's one over the max. You over the cap, Father. You failed the metric for the 25-30 principle because of that sack. Let's apply that same level of scrutiny to the Rams. Well, they had 26 pass attempts. We already talked about that, but they also had 3 sacks. They were sacked 3 times. That's 3 failed pass attempts. Well, if you add that to the 26 total, it's still 29. You're still under the 30 cap. So even with the 3 sacks, that's 29. And Purdy, with his 1 sack, that's 31. And so McGenius hits the metric and father, and misses the metric. And what happened when you miss the metric, my folks, say it with me, you wear that L on your head. And in case of a tie, this is a house rule, but in case of a tie where both teams, both coaches hit the metrics for the 25-30 principle, which officially that happened in this game. But when that is the case, for me, it's a very easy way to break the tie. Who was closest to balanced? And so, Mr. McWonder, 26 and 26, obviously, you can't get no more balanced than that. And that's why McGenius won. And Matty from the D helped him tremendously. San Francisco, they outplayed the Rams. More total yards, more passing yards, more rushing yards, more yards per play, more first downs. They were better on third down. They had more total plays, and they had fewer punts and fewer sacks. The only place where actually the Rams outperformed them was, well, 2 places. One, the Rams didn't have any turnovers, and them damn Niners, they coughed up a fumble. It was Purdy, I believe, who coughed one up. And the other place of note, the Rams special teams, honorary game balls for the special teams. And remember now, last year the special teams were atrocious, just repugnant, and they were at the bottom of the statistical categories of the special teams last year. And now you gotta give McGenius and the coaching staff credit. They made the changes. Remember who was returning punts last year? It was Fair McMuffins. Fair McMuffin, he fair catch and then muff it. Oh, damn, really? This dude was horrible. Something wrong. I think. Well, Fair McMuffins is gone, and now there's a young guy back there. The X-Man, Xavier Smith. And when he received his first punt, it was a fair catch. And I said, oh, who is this guy? And it was something about that fair catch. It didn't look like Fair McMuffins. It looked like I'm fair catching this one. And oh, I sensed it, because on his second punt return, but we'll get to that in game analysis. Special teams, they deserve honorary mention. What about Cardi? Remember last year? It was the Havre-Sick experience. Where is it going? Is it here? Is it there? They brought in a guy, and that guy couldn't keep up with the Havre-Sick, and they brought the experience back. This guy Cardi, he seems stable. It's like snap back, ball down. It's straight through the middle. It's good. It's good with Cardi. And so you got to give these guys props. And then Ethan Evans, the punter, nailing them inside the 10 time after, and then give McWonder more credit. Because when he dialed up that fake punt, he turned the game on its axis. That was the spot. You can mark it right there. That fake punt. First, he needed to call it at the right time, and he did. And then they needed to execute it perfectly, and they did. And then finally, they had to pay it off with points. Not three. They needed 7 out of it, and they did get that. And so, A plus on the special teams. Great job. The X-Man, he set it up for the game-winning Cardi kick. That's all special teams right there. Yeah, man. And so, I'm just relieved to see that the principles that I've been preaching about, I've been calling for, I've been agitating for, when you apply it, you see the results. Now, here's the question, though. Did he stumble into it? Did he blunder into it? Was it the intervention from his quarterback? Or did McWonder, did he evolve? And the answer is going to be revealed to us as we move further into the season, because we're going to see if he goes right back, Motown backslide, goes right back to having Matty from the D toss it around 40, 50 times a game, then we'll know he learned nothing. Nothing. I hope that's not the case. I hope this was a turning point for the coach. We'll soon see, because next up, the Bears. And you go out there, half-assed and kind of, feeling relieved from beating them damn Niners. You go out there, chucking it all over the yard, and you're going to end up with an L on your head. And at this point, you don't want to do that. You want to follow up this momentum and get to 2-2. So, time will tell. Time will tell, because coming into that 49er game, the Rams were 31st in the NFL in rushing. 31st, that's one from the bottom. And that's not because they can't run the ball. That's because there's no will. That comes from the top down. There's no commitment to it. You change that, now we're on to something. And we're starting to get back a little continuity with the offensive line. We'll talk about that. And so, if the coach applies sensible balance, if he applies the principles, the 25-30 principle specifically, then the sky's the limit. The Rams have a bright future. They can go far. And maybe Matty has to be quarterback and player coach. Maybe that's required. We'll see what it takes to rein him in. Now, the Rams may have been 31st in rushing, but they're 5th in passing. Chuck it. See? The thing is, though, they're 27th in scoring. And so what that tells me is all of that past happiness is not resulting in points. And it hadn't resulted in wins until he applied the 25-30 principle. Enough said. There. Let's give out our game balls. Well, I give out 3 game balls in a win. Let's start first and foremost. Game ball. The aforementioned Matthew Stafford. Matty from the D, the quarterback. And I'm telling you right now, this man has convinced me he has a bust in Canton. He will be a Hall of Fame quarterback when it's all said and done. Game ball, Matthew Stafford, 16 for 25, 221, 1 touchdown, no interceptions, and all those glorious audibles and interventions. Game ball. Kyron Williams, K-Will. K-Will had a hand in each of the 3 Rams touchdowns on the day. 1 receiving with that amazing athletic somersault, and then 2 on the ground running hard between the tackles. Powerball. I love it. And so 3 touchdowns on the day, 118 scrimmage yards on the day, I do believe. And so K-Will, game ball, sir. Game ball. And then finally, I want to give out a game ball. I want to give out this final game ball to a guy that, I feel a little extra affinity for him. I call him Tutu, because, see, I've said this last season, that every game, Coach McWonder, every Rams game, you've got to take the top off and throw a long one to Tutu. Every game. I said at least once each half. Let Tutu fly. Air it out. Every game, that's how you open it up. And then that middle, see. But when you combine the ability to stretch, to take the top off the defense that Tutu has, you combine that with an effective run game between the tackles, and K-Will can do that. And then a quarterback with the smarts, the savvy, the experience of Matty from the D. Kill. When you do all of that, you have damn near an unbeatable combination if you use it properly. And so I want to give a game ball to Tutu, because Tutu was the leading receiver for the Rams on the day. And more than that, Tutu has been buried. McWonder put him in his doghouse. You know how McGenius will do it now. He puts guys in the doghouse inexplicably sometimes. I still don't know why Bryson Hopkins was in McWonder's doghouse. I still don't understand. Some of the other, Bryce Perkins, for example, this isn't the time to adjudicate any of that. But Tutu found his way. And, many other players have been there. Tutu found his way there, and he was buried. And I kept calling for him. Tutu, where's Tutu? Tutu, go back and watch. And for Tutu to come out, and they went to him after he was forced. There was nobody left. Soup's down. Puka's down. There's nobody left. He went to Jordan Whittington, but that's a rookie. He's still trying to figure things out. They've got Tyler Johnson. He's a second-year guy. He's still trying to figure it out. And I like the DeMarcus Robinson, but you gotta let Tutu get some run, coach. And when you finally went to him, look at him. He delivered 4 receptions on the day, 93 yards, a 23.2 yard per average. And not only the numbers, but that big, damn near 50-yard pass interference penalty that he drew. He was a major factor on the game for the positive for the Rams. So game ball, Tutu, you need to let him take the top off every game, McWonder, every game. At least once, I say once a half. All right, we've been going for a minute now, and this is becoming an epic episode. So let's go straight into an abbreviated game analysis, abbreviated version. Well, here's a point I want to make. The O-line is starting to solidify, and Alaric Jackson makes a big difference for the Rams. And so they got their left tackle back now, and that's a key spot. And so he proved himself to be reliable last year. He was suspended for 2 games, but now he's back, and you could almost feel that he made an impact that first game back right away. So that adds that sense of stability to have your left tackle back. Big get back. Then Havenstein, he's back at right tackle. So now you've got your staple. You've got your left tackle. That looks solid. Hopefully, Havenstein can avoid further injury. And then you got Kevin Dotson. And he showed himself to be a great lineman for the Rams last year. But he's been having some injury issues. And so now with all of the other injuries at 09 Shuffle, now you do have a couple of rookies. And then the Rams, well, they come out. Here it is, as I mentioned, they're in 12 personnel, and that took everybody by surprise because the graphics department for the broadcast still had 3 wide receivers listed to start, and he was in 12. So you open in the game in 12, you start off with a run, you get 5, you give it a follow-up run, you get 3, it's 3rd and 2, and you're averaging 4 yards a pop on the ground out of 12. Stick with it, pick up the first down. Now, McWonder, the book of McWonder stipulates you must pass on 3rd down, even 3rd and 2. He doesn't let success be his guide. So he's passing, and not only is he passing, but he's got him in empty shotgun. And as you know, I've said this on numerous occasions. Every time I see Matty in empty gun, I feel a sense of impending doom. Get that knot in my throat. I'm like, why, McWonder? You're in 12. Why go away from what's working? Well, empty backfield. Matty, incomplete, 3 and out. Like the song said, he knows that you eschew the run. So beware. And sure enough, 3 and out now. And you're punting. And your Dada's up 7-0. And then San Francisco and them Niners go on this 77-yard drive. And they implement the run. And, well, 14-0. San Fran. And it's looking bleak. But this is where I first saw a change. McWonder, he did not abandon the run down 14-0. He's running on first down and again on second with a deficit. This is different. That sets up a 3rd and 2. And I'm like, man, let success be your God. Run the ball. And he does. And he's got a first down. And I'm like, yes, this is what I'm talking about. But I spoke too soon because on first down, McWonder's throwing. There's a holding penalty. Now it's 1st and 20. Now you're behind the sticks. And, well, the Rams have to punt yet again. But this is where finally the Rams stiffen up and the defense exerts itself. And they force Father Shanahan to punt, and the Rams get the ball back, and Matty finally gets his first completion of the game, fell into the game, and Matty has his first completion, and I think, okay, maybe now they'll get going, but, well, McWonder's throwing, the pocket's collapsing, Matty's trying to escape, and he's throwing, but it's to no one, intentional grounding, and they're behind the sticks again, and so they end up having to punt yet again. 14-0, giving the ball back to your Dada. It looks so bleak. And this is where I give McWonder the credit. He dialed up that fake punt, and that play successfully executed changed the game. And then they took the new set of downs and they cashed it in. And that's where I first noticed Matty from the D starting to repeatedly from under center or walking up to the line of scrimmage, kill, and audibling into a run play. And on this first Rams touchdown drive, Matty tosses a nice little short pass over the middle to K. Will, and K. Will somersaults in, and the Rams are on the board 14-7. But as I mentioned on those succeeding touchdown drives, repeatedly, you saw the quarterback kill it, McWonder, kill all them damn passes, run the ball. And the Rams managed to fight and claw their way back into the game. Now they had help. As I mentioned, the football gods smiled on them, and they had help from Father Shanahan himself. He wrote the book, but he seemed to, at a certain point, I think when he saw McWonder starting to come up on him from behind, he heard the footsteps of little McWonder coming for him, and I think Father panicked a little bit. He was already a little off kilter with all this 12 personnel. And then Matty, audibly, staying in balance, gouging them up the gut between the tackles. Father started getting nervous, and there was a point in which Father, with the lead, pass, 3-and-out, with the lead, and I'm like, he just committed a McBlunder, Father did. And that all contributed to the Rams' comeback. But as I say, it wasn't going to be easy because the original McBlunder still had McBlunders to do yet himself. For example, to start the third quarter, it's 14-7. San Fran and, well, the Rams had deferred, so they get the ball to start the second half. And, well, they're in 12 personnel, McWonder is, but to start the sequence, first down, throwing to Whittington, incomplete. Second down, throwing complete to Tyler Johnson for 5. 3rd and 5, from the shotgun, no less. Matty threw a dart, but Parkinson couldn't bring it down, and it's incomplete. And so you start off the third quarter down in 12 personnel, pass, 3-and-out, punting. Ah! Bird brain behavior, and this is yet another candidate for McBlunder Spotlight sequence of the week. But this is not the winner. There's more McBlundering still to come. The Rams are down 10. There's 7 minutes, 12 seconds left in regulation, and McWonder has been running the ball out of 12 personnel with that divine intervention, that assistance from his quarterback. And now we get to goal-to-goal situations. It's 1st and goal from the 6, and you know what the book of McWonder stipulates. 1st and goal from the 6. Well, McWonder, following the book, throwing, incomplete. 2nd and goal from the 6, down 10. McWonder goes empty shotgun. I'm like, oh, damn, this guy. Empty shotgun. And the pocket collapses, and Matty gets touched, and down he goes, sack. Now it's 3rd and goal, and they're going backwards, down 10. And of course, McWonder's throwing incomplete for TDR. And so, 4th and goal now, you've lost yards, and you have to settle for the field goal. But the bigger point, my folks, 1st and goal from the 6, not one run, pass, sack, pass, field goal. Squandered, McSquandered. But this is more than just a McSquander, my folks. This illustrates perfectly the McBlunder Spotlight sequence of the week. Wow, bird brain behavior. And so now, the Rams are down 7. Well, this is where I say fate intervened. The football gods intervened. There was divine intervention because Father Shanahan now going for the kill, sets it up for a field goal for Moody. Moody is in a bad mood because he hooks it no good, Moody. And the Rams, they get another break because that field goal would have finished them. It would have been the nail in McWonder's coffin. But now the Rams get the ball back. And they're only down 7. And there's time still on the clock. And so, with 2 minutes, 40 seconds to play from their own 45-yard line with 1 timeout, Matty under center, play fake. They bite on the play fake when you've been running the ball all game long to set it up, McG, don't you see? Play fake, they bite. Matty over the top, going big, going long for it all. Who is it? For 50. Down to the San Francisco 4-yard line, 1st and goal. Rams from the 4. And they run, and San Francisco calls a timeout, 2nd and goal, and then Matty at it again. Kill. Checking out of them damn pass plays of McWonders. Checking into a run. Hand the ball to K. Will. Up the gut. Touchdown, LA. Touchdown, Rams. And the game is tied. The game is tied. And bless you, Matt Stafford, for being the lone voice of reason left at Rams Palace. And now, San Francisco with the ball. It's just 1:05 left in regulation. The game is tied, and Brock Purdy throws a perfect spiral right to him, right to Ronnie Bell, and it hit him in a bad place, right in the hands. He dropped it, and there it is again. See the football gods. See fate intervening on your behalf, McWonder. And that catch would have doomed the Rams. They would have been in field goal range with ease. They could have run the clock out on the first down, but no, he dropped it, and now San Fran ends up having to punt. And they punt, and who is it? It's the X-Man, Xavier Smith. He takes the kick and makes a move, and one guy misses, and then he makes that beeline for the sideline, up the sideline. 38 big punt return yards, and then now Matty from the D throwing for Kobe Parkinson, and well, he's all wrapped up, interfered with, yellow laundry flags flying every which way, pass interference. And now it's all over but the shouting. And Cardi comes on. 2 seconds left. Snap back, ball down, kick is up. Rams win. Rams win. And it was an epic game. And this has been an epic episode, so we are not going to go into the look around the league and all of these other things that I had intended to do. We'll pick it up next week, but for now, I just want to say again, bless you, Matthew Stafford. Congratulations, Coach McWonder and the Rams. And in this case, literally, your season has been salvaged. And so at this point, what I'm going to ask from you, what I need you to do is throw me one of these. Throw me one of these. Like the video. Please like the video. Subscribe. If you haven't already, leave me a comment. Let me know, how do you like my game analysis? What do you think? But I feel rejuvenated even this early in the season. It feels like the Rams have new life. But you have to take advantage. Do the right things. Get out of the book of McWonder and follow the 25-30 principle. Follow it home to the Super Bowl. And so, at this point, thanks once again for watching. Scotty says, until the next one, which you know it won't be too long from this one, because we will be back on the other side of the Chicago Bears, LA Rams, and we will chop that one up, and hopefully the Rams continue on that momentum. But until then, my friends, Scotty says, one love. Congratulations, McG. You're welcome.